I had to get up and go over there. It's a nuisance. But we live on. Good evening and welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, just hanging up my red phone here. I'll put the red phone over there. Welcome to the show. We hope to hear from you. Love to have you give us a call at that phone number that is on your screen. Or you can also send us an email, which reminds me I need to pick up my black phone. You can send us an email at that email address. I believe it's there. I do. But if it's not, it's KECHOLS47 at gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you either way. We got two or three emails here about two or three different things, and we'll get to those in a minute. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Mark Median.
Hey there, Mark.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, Mark. How are you?
That's good. I'm doing so record.
Okay.
I want to take number 11, Denny Hamlin, for the next race.
All right. Hang on. Let me get the great book in front of me here. And it is a great, great book. Mark takes the number 11 for Homestead. Mark, it is in the book.
Yeah, and tell Charles Fernando not to forget the voice comes on tonight at 8 o'clock on Channel 12.
I will
And
remind
then,
him if I have a chance.
And then the Masked Singer Wednesday. And you forgot to mention the stew last night.
Oh, yeah, that would be the Sandy Ridge stew.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I guess I forgot since it's not until November 23rd, but I will certainly mention it.
Okay. And then I don't think there's anything else. Ace Frehley's working on Origins Volume 3. Ace Frehley Origins Volume 3. He's working on that album now. And he supposed to be coming out with a new album. He supposed to be coming out with a new studio album, but I don't know what it's going to be called yet.
All right. Well, you can keep us updated on that.
Okay. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate your call. Phone line is open at that number. And Mark has reminded me that I didn't mention the Sandy Ridge stew. and I didn't. So why don't I do that right now? It's a page back through the great book. With two stews coming up in Sandy Ridge, November 23rd. One stew on November 23rd in Sandy Ridge. That's going to be a limited supply. So if you're aiming for that one, you might want to call early. And then in December 14th, there will be a stew in Sandy Ridge with a more vast supply. The number to call is 336 871 3821. 336 871 3821. $6 a quart. Both those stews in Sandy Ridge. And I'm sure they will be delicious. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Ken, it is. I want to take your number 12 this week in Miami.
Okay, Leon takes Ryan Blaney in Miami. Okay, it's in the book, Leon.
All right, thank you, Ken.
Well, thanks for calling. So there's that. Oh, there's somebody else. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please. Hello?
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken. I'm sorry.
Did we catch you napping?
I want to thank Mark for maybe and let me know about The Voice, but I will be watching Dancing with the Stars.
All right. So you don't watch The Voice? You record The Voice?
I'll have to check it out tomorrow evening.
All right. So first you watch Dancing with the Stars. Is that guy?
Yeah.
Guy in the glasses. Is he still there?
Well, I like Dancing with the Stars. I'm
Well,
still trying to get over Tyra Banks being gone.
Well, I realize that, but the question though is the guy with the glasses.
Yeah.
Is he still there?
Mr. Ken, I'm going to have to call you back because my phone's acting up.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry. Maybe you can get a better connection. Okay, Charles in Danville, probably calling from his bunker, which sometimes creates telephone interference. That evidently is the case this evening. So since his phone's acting up, we'll let him try again. Last night, folks were having signal problems in Danville on Channel 17. And we looked into that. Well, I didn't. People in Martinsville looked into that and found out that is something that it was beyond our control. So sometimes things are within our control, and when they are, we fix them. But that one was one that we really couldn't do anything about, and we hope that that will have cleared up by now, so that you can see us and hear us in all our wonderful and glorious accomplishments here on Star News, because you don't want to miss anything that goes on here. Now, about those emails. One is about Medicare. Emailer says, Ken, I heard today that Mutual of Omaha is leaving the Medicare insurance market. Now, this concerns me because I have my Medicare supplement plan with Mutual of Omaha. I think they call it United of Omaha. Does that mean my plan will be going away? No, it doesn't. Mutual of Omaha is getting out of the Part D Medicare market, not the Medicare supplement market. Hi, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Ken, I'm calling back.
Sounds like you're on a better phone.
Well, I had to get the landline.
All right, so you're actually talking to us now through old-timey copper wire.
Yeah, well, no, well, it's a cordless phone.
Oh, well, there is no copper wire then.
No, we used to have one, but we got rid of it. It got boring. But I want to thank Mark Mayadan for reminding me about The Voice. I will be watching it tomorrow. I will be watching Dancing with the Stars tonight.
Is the guy with the glasses still on Dancing with the Stars?
The young guy, yes.
The young guy with the glasses. Now, is he this may sound like a stupid question. Is he the star, or is he the contestant who is dancing with a star?
He's a guest. He's the gymnast.
Well, I know he's a gymnast, but I mean, is every couple has a star in? Is he the star in his couple?
Yes.
All right, just want to clear that up.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm still trying to get over Tyra being gone.
You're having trouble moving on from that, aren't you?
Yes, I am, and it's disappointing that they got rid of a lovely, sexy host.
Is it also that you have not heard from her since she left the show? Are you chagrined at that?
Not too upset. I'm still going. I mean, I'm still going to work. Oh, I'm back at work now.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we knew your vacation was over. So she does not, does she text you at least now and then?
No, she don't.
Okay. Well, I guess that's that.
Yep, that's the end of that. So I'll just move on. Find me another pretty woman.
Okay. Well, there's a few more of them out there.
Yep, I know that. It's no big deal. She's just she's getting. Well, in other words, I'm not going to start a feud.
No, don't start a feud. That's not don't.
Well, I have stirred up a few of them.
All right. Well, let's leave the feuding to other shows. Let's not feud on this show.
Well, we're not. Remind you and Mark tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Channel 8, The Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer. I won't be watching tomorrow night, but I'll see it on Thursday.
Yeah, just remember on your local Fox station.
Local Fox station. That's important to know.
Yes, sir. Thank you and have a good evening.
Well, thank you for calling. Good to hear from you. And sorry the thing with Tyra Banks is not working out. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Ken. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right, thank you. I suppose.
How's that finger? How's that pinky? Is that getting better?
I've been peeling skin off of it for a while today, and I ain't sure if it's gonna live or not.
Wow.
I have no feeling at all in it. I can mash the stitches and everything about all I want to, and it don't hurt. I don't feel it.
Well, has the doctor looked at it lately?
Not since I went to the ER.
No. All right.
I mean, it looks okay. It's just, I think maybe one side was beyond healing. That side, it looked a little purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the side I'm having a problem with. I've been taking my pocket knife and shaving skin off of it.
Is it still discolored?
No.
Okay.
No, it's so much menagerie of stuff. It's got hard places, and it had a piece of something sticking out of it today. Then when I pulled on it, it was hooked to the inside like it was meat on my finger. And I saw when she was stitching it up, she took the tweezer thing she had and was packing meat back in between the stitches. And then afterwards, I saw that meat was still sticking back out in 2 or 3 places. And that's what I had to clip that off with my scissors today. It was growing on the inside and dead on the outside.
That does not sound good.
No, I'm telling you, it really. I'll send you a picture of how it looks now. I don't know what it looks like, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You'd have to look at it.
When are you supposed to see the doctor again?
Well, they didn't ever tell me. I wondered today who was supposed to take stitches out and when and all that. I'll take them out myself. Ain't no reason for me to go to the doctor for them to take stitches out.
Well, yeah, I know you can take stitches out, but I would want a doctor to look at it though, just to see how it's doing.
Well, yeah, I guess I should.
Because if I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough to make an intelligent comment about it. It's just that I think if it was me, I'd want to let a doctor take a look at it at least one more time.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should, but what they gonna do if it's bad? They just come tell
Well,
me.
I guess they cut it off, I guess. But,
Well,
uh,
that's not what I'm on.
well, I know that, but if it's infected, though, it's got some sort of infection in it,
Oh
though.
no, it's not infected.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
gracious, no,
All right. Well,
no.
that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's just I think I don't know what the black stuff is on it. It could be dried blood, but I took a brush, like a medium bristle toothbrush, and scrubbed it with soap, and it won't come off. So it'll have to wear off. Whatever it is, it ain't dried blood. I mean, I don't know what it is really.
Well, do you have use of it? I mean, you can move it around and use it.
Oh golly, I've done all kind of work today.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I mowed the yard, used my left hand to steer. I got one of them round knobs on my steering wheel on my riding mower,
yeah.
and I just hold on to that knob and turn it
Okay.
instead of using both hands on the steering wheel. And I use my left hand to do that, and that's my left hand bad. But like I say, it don't hurt. It hadn't hurt yet. I've bumped it a time or two, and it still don't hurt.
Well, maybe it's getting better. That's what we'll hope for.
Well, if it don't hurt, that's a good sign.
That is. That's a real good
No red
sign.
streak, no red streaks. That's a good sign.
Another good sign. I think maybe you're going in the right direction this
Yeah, I
time.
did get a new tetanus shot.
Oh
I
yeah, well
told the
that's important. Yeah, you don't want tetanus. That's the last thing you want.
yeah, yeah. I told the doctor that gave it to me. I said, I don't need a tetanus shot. It hadn't been 10 years. She said, do you not want a tetanus shot because you don't want a shot? I said, well, it could be.
Well,
So
I tell you what, a shot's not fun, but it's a whole lot better than tetanus.
yeah, or yep. Oh me. Golly, I called you for something specific, and I forgot what it was. I may have to send you an email about it.
Okay.
But excuse me.
Think,
Excuse me.
th- think a
Oh,
se- think a second.
I told you that I do my onion syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you know that I've been saving all them meds,
Right.
right? Well, when Draper Cycle took that load to Western Carolina,
Uh-huh.
they took it to a Christian place in relation to their church.
Okay.
So we made sure that our stuff got to them.
Right.
I sent them $30,000 worth of breathing medicine.
Really.
Yeah, I figured I'll die before I can use all that. Why am I saving it? These people can use it.
So now let me understand here. That is medicine that you have not had to take since you've been using the onion syrup.
Right.
$30,000 worth.
Well, it's $1,200 a month just for two of them.
Oh
And
my
then,
goodness. Well, thank
and then
goodness
there's,
thank goodness for onion syrup,
well, isn't that the truth?
because
Isn't that?
it's a whole lot less than 1,200 a month, I would think.
Pretty much. You know? And you know the good thing about the onion syrup, I really believe it heals. It helps healing because now I can go. I'm on about 8 or 10 days without any onion syrup.
Really?
Nothing but the albuterol inhaler once in the morning and once before bed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
now,
breathing that well. I go out and work, I mow the yard,
well,
and
now for people, there are people who come along, they haven't been listening for a long time. And in case somebody is out there saying, what is this guy talking about? Mr. Draper has COPD. And as you've just heard him say, he has an onion syrup mixture that he makes. And it has, from what you say, since the onion syrup, you've stopped taking the expensive medication completely, right?
yes, completely. Liquefy 2 big onions in a blender, strain them through a bandana or like a cotton T-shirt. Just squeeze it out of the bottom into a a bowl, and then take that juice, pour it in a quart jar, put enough sugar in there or Splenda to where you can drink it and it's comfortable, and then it'll take care of any kind of breathing problem, COPD, kids with colds, grandmas with colds, grandpas, anybody sick, just flu, anything. Ken, you've tried it, hadn't you?
I did try. I tried it when I had a cold. I did, and I got better. Now, somebody can say, well, you were going to get better anyway. I mean, I don't know about that. All I know is I got better.
Your comment was, it's the first time I've been able to take a deep breath. I think you said in about a month.
Well, I don't remember exactly how long it had been. I just remember it was really an annoying cold, really, really annoying, and it got better.
That gave you relief, didn't it?
Yeah, something did.
And there's lots of nutrition, vitamins, and minerals in it too.
And there's nothing in there that'll hurt you.
Nope, you can't overdose, take too much of it.
Hey, is it possible?
All right.
Wait a minute. Is it possible that the thing you were going to do and forgot to do was give me your pick for the race?
Well, it may have been. I'd been looking at that. Yeah, I want to go ahead and go with my normal pick with Byron.
24.
24. Yeah.
Okay, it's in the book.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good night, Ken.
Thanks for calling. Phone line is open. Up there is the phone number. You can also email us at that email address, and somebody did and said this. Hey, Ken, this is Jack. Jack says, put me down for the 45 Tyler Reddick for this weekend. So Jack has the 45. This emailer says, Ken, I want to get back to the Medicare thing and Mutual of Omaha. Did you say that Mutual of Omaha is canceling its drug plan, but not its Medicare supplement plan? Yes, Mutual of Omaha is leaving the Medicare Part D market. So if you have that, and they would have, I'm sure, notified you long since. I hope they would have notified you long since that they are leaving Medicare Part D. So if you have your Part D coverage through Mutual of Omaha, you have, of course, excuse me, you have, of course, until December 7th to find a different plan because Mutual of Omaha is leaving that. But again, they are not, repeat, Mutual of Omaha is not discontinuing its Medicare supplement plans. So if you've got a G or a C or an A or a whatever with Mutual of Omaha, you should be okay on that one. Let's see. Emailer says, I can't find you on YouTube tonight. Oh, sometimes we're hard to find. Now, we are on YouTube. I'm confident we are on YouTube. And it's perplexing why some folks sometimes cannot find us when we know we are there. Anyway, emailer says, give me the 5 for next week. All right, let's see. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, how you doing? This is Early Bird.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I've heard them talk about that Masked Singer. I believe they're going to have something about Barbie on there that night. Tomorrow night, I guess it is.
Barbie? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Barbie's going to be on there. Something about Barbie. I've seen it on TV.
Okay, well, they have a different theme every week. I guess Barbie is their theme this week.
Yeah, but I believe I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch.
Okay, Early Bird has the number 8, Kyle Busch for Homestead.
Yeah.
It's in the book.
Okay, Ken, and I'll talk to you later.
Well, thank you, Early Bird. Good to talk to you.
Okay.
There's the 8 for Early Bird. We have not heard yet from, don't have a pick from Liberal, Mr. Pelham, Pretty Man, Avenger, Captain Midnight, or Tar Heel in Mayodan. Tar Heel in Mayodan usually comes in the last one in, so we won't expect to hear from the Tar Heel for another night or two. Pretty Man, who knows? Who knows what to expect from Pretty Man? Anyway, those are the ones we have not yet heard from for the Homestead race. Back to this email. Ken, speaking of Medicare, hang on, let me make sure I wrote down Citizen D's. If I don't write down Citizen D's pick, I will surely forget. Now it's written down. Ken, getting back to Medicare, what's going to be the deductible this year for people who have Medicare supplement plans? Do you know what the deductible will be in 2025? That's the Part B. That's Part B deductible, I guess, is what we're talking about here. I think it's going to be 200. You know, I saw it and it's left my mind. I think it's going to be $244. I think. If that's not right, that's close. I'm thinking $244 for the Part B deductible for 2025. And on the other hand, it could be $233, but I think it's $244. I'll try to look that up and know for sure. But anyway, it's either $244 or it's something very, very close in the neighborhood of $244. Ken, you used to be on the radio. Yeah, afraid I was. It's hard to live down after you've been on radio. Anyway, Ken used to be on the radio. Why is it that at night I can listen to radio stations from all over the place, Chicago and New York and everywhere, but only AM stations? I thought FM stations were more powerful than AM stations, but you can only get the faraway stations when they're AM and not FM. Why is that if FM is more powerful? Well, I know the answer to that one. It's because AM signals, in effect, and this is kind of an oversimplification, but this basically answers the question. AM signals can actually follow the curvature of the Earth along. Because when I was very young, I used to listen to WLS in Chicago every night. WLS in Chicago, 50,000 watts, clear channel in Chicago. The reason their AM signal got to Reidsville, North Carolina, is because an AM signal, when it leaves the tower, it goes up in the air, it strikes the ionosphere, and given the nature of reasonably low frequency amplitude modulation, which is what AM is, it effectively bounces off the ionosphere back to Earth, back up, bounces off the ionosphere again. It's called skywave. And that's why AM goes a long, long way. FM, on the other hand, is purely line of sight. FM signal goes in a straight line, straight to your house if you live within line of sight of the FM station. But if you live much farther away, certainly as far away as Chicago, it doesn't even have to be that far away, then the curvature of the Earth begins to interfere with the FM. Well, it doesn't interfere with the signal. It simply takes you below the line of the signal. So the Earth is round, but the FM signal just goes straight, does not follow the curvature of the Earth. So that, in my own clumsy way of explaining it, is why you can hear, why I could hear WLS in Chicago at night, which was an AM station, but if I turn on the radio at night now, I cannot hear a 100,000 watt FM station in Chicago, except in some very sometimes there's a temperature inversion or something, and no, we're not going to get into that. Sometimes in freak circumstances, an FM can be heard far away, but in general, no, it cannot. So there's that, and I remember I had to. You may have, some of you probably had the same experience. I used to have to put my radio under the covers so the light wouldn't show, just in case somebody in authority in the household would happen to look in the door. I didn't want them to see the light from the radio because then they'd come in and make me turn it off. But I'm sure I'm not the only one who ever had to do that. I'm certain of it. Phone line is open. There's the number up there. Also, the email address is on the screen, kechols47@gmail.com. And let's see, I had a note I had written down over here. And of course, now I can't find it. But I may find it, or I may actually think of it later, in which case I'll respond to it. Let's see. Ken, there's been so much early voting this year. North Carolina and Georgia too, and maybe others, set a record for the most number of early votes when they first started. Who is getting the most early votes, Democrats or Republicans? Well, we don't know. We do know in general, we do know the party registration of the people who vote, but we don't know who they vote for. And certainly in this day and time, I think probably now, I cannot prove what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, even though I can't prove it. I think it's probably more prevalent these days for somebody who's registered in one party to now and again go astray and vote for the other party. So the party registration does not give us a definitive idea of who might have the advantage in early voting. But by and large, based on what I've read, the party registration count is generally equal, not exactly equal, but there's not a huge spread and not a big difference in party registration as far as the people who are voting early. And we really don't know any more than that. Now, of course, somebody has done an exit poll. It's hard to get away from exit polling. Anytime somebody throws an election somewhere, there's going to be somebody standing out there doing an exit poll. And I read one exit poll that said, this is what the exit poll said. I do not vouch for this in any way, shape, or form. The exit poll people said that in their exit polling, they believe that the Democrats have the advantage in early voting. I actually had that somewhere. Oh yeah, here it is. It's the USA Today, Suffolk University released an exit poll that said this. Again, I don't vouch for it. It said that in early voting, Harris is getting 63% of the vote to 34% for Donald Trump. You can make whatever you will of that and decide for yourself what that's worth or not worth. But they also said this, Uh, they said the people they talked to who have voted early favored Harris 63% to 34%. But somehow they worked in, and I don't know exactly how they did this. Somehow they worked in a lot of people who are not voting early but are planning to vote on election day. And they said among people planning to vote on election day is just the opposite, with most of them saying that they will vote for Donald Trump. So that's the folks who are going to vote on election day. According to this poll, Donald Trump has a big advantage there, and they say that Harris has a big advantage amongst the people who are voting early. So that's kind of the way it went last time, kind of. So we'll see. But as always, whenever I talk about polls, and I cannot help myself, I just have to do this. Whenever I talk about any poll at all, I have to throw in ignore them. Don't worry about them. Don't think about them. They don't matter. The only poll that matters is the one where you cast your vote. So that's all there is to that, as far as I'm concerned. Another election thing, somebody wants to say or wants to know, what is the constitutional amendment? North Carolina has a constitutional amendment on the ballot. And it's something about voting. I heard about it on the news, but I forgot what they said. What is the constitutional amendment in North Carolina? Well, I might be able to actually read it to you. I can read it. Here's what it said. This is the proposed constitutional amendment on the ballot in North Carolina. It says, and I quote, constitutional amendment to provide that only a citizen of the United States who is 18 years of age and otherwise possessing the qualifications for voting shall be entitled to vote at any election in this state. So that's what the constitutional amendment says, and then it says you can vote for or against. Or if you prefer, you can not vote at all on it. You don't have to. But if you're going to vote on it, you vote for or against. Now, you might say, in fact, some people do say, isn't it already illegal for non-citizens to vote in the election? Yes, it is already illegal for non-citizens to vote in the election. In fact, it's stipulated somewhere else in the North Carolina Constitution. But the folks in the General Assembly who drafted this and put it on the ballot said they thought it would be good if it was there in this very direct language as part of the Constitution. So there it is. And that is what the constitutional amendment says. Ken, who is going to win the World Series? I need to know which way to bet. You don't want to know from me. Believe me, you do not want to know from me which way to bet. If I knew who was going to win the World Series, then I might actually bet myself. But I don't, and I won't. I saw, though, somebody put together a chart, and I saw this online. Somebody went and researched the last 30 times that the Dodgers and the Yankees, and they're playing in the World Series, researched the last 30 times that the Dodgers and the Yankees have played each other. And what they found, which I don't think is of any use at all in predicting how the World Series is going to go, what they found is of the last 30 times that the Dodgers and Yankees have played each other, each team has won 15 games. So there, now you know. We got McDonald's Quarter Pounders linked to an E. coli outbreak. Somebody mentioned that to me this afternoon, and I looked it up because I was kind of curious, as some people are, as to where where were those quarter pounders sold? Not around here. The McDonald's quarter pounders linked to the E. coli outbreak were sold out west, a long way from here, in I think it's Colorado. Colorado, mainly in Colorado and Nebraska. One person has died from eating one of these burgers, and 49 people have become ill. Uh, but the states are Colorado and Nebraska. That's according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. 10 people have been hospitalized, including a child, the agency said. All of them reported eating at McDonald's before they fell ill, and they specifically mentioned having a quarter pounder, the agency said. So I don't know. I don't see that they have absolutely, without doubt, determined that the quarter pounders caused the E. coli. Um, but the fact that all of the people reported having eaten a quarter pounder at McDonald's just before they got sick uh, certainly sort of points in that direction. But again, none of that happened here in our area. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, on that E. coli, I heard just now on the news a while ago that it's in the onions.
The onions.
It's in the onions.
Okay. Well, I'm glad they figured it out then.
Well, that's what they said on the news down here just a little bit ago, but I thought I'd call in and tell you that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's more than I knew. So it is the onions, not the meat, in the quarter pounder, according to the news report that Early Bird heard. So now we know a little bit more about that than we did. And once again, that is out west. There's been no report of anything like that around here. Can you explain how come in all of this modern world where we have all of this modern stuff, how come they can't just build a big, huge battery like inside of a mountain somewhere so that when the electricity goes off, they can hook everybody up to that big, huge battery and they'll continue to have power? It seems to me that they ought to be able to do that. They can. And well, they can, emailer, and they are. Um, there's one site in California that I know of. Excuse me, one site in California and another one somewhere in the Midwest. I can't think of exactly what state it is, but they are doing exactly the thing that you're talking about, and they have gigawatt rated batteries. I think they have a capacity. This is not going to be exactly right, but I think it's in the neighborhood. I think there exists now about 17 gigawatts of battery reserve electricity in America. The one in California and one somewhere in the Midwest, and probably others somewhere that I don't know about. 17 gigawatts they've got stored in these big batteries for exactly the situation that you're talking about. Now, how much will what will a gigawatt do? A gigawatt of electricity, this is my understanding of it. This is sort of the general consensus. A gigawatt of electricity will power 700,000 homes for what period of time is it? 700,000 homes, maybe for a year. I'm not sure. I would have to look that up. But that's a lot of electricity, and there's going to be a lot more because they are building these batteries and charging them, and then they're building more and they're adding to them. So I think the goal, the government sort of has kind of a loose goal for this. What the government wants to do is eventually have, they hope, a terawatt of battery storage. Okay. Who's even ever heard of a terawatt? A terawatt of battery storage, which would be a trillion watts of battery capacity. Now, 17 gigawatts is a long way from a terawatt. In fact, it takes 1,000 gigawatts to make a terawatt. But the fact is, it's being done. There are private companies. There may be actually power companies doing it in some cases. But most of it right now is being done by private companies who will have the power available to sell to a power company in need if that power company is unable because of storm or weather or whatever, not able to provide electricity to its customers. So yeah, emailer, you said that's a good idea, and it's such a good idea that people are doing it right now. I'll try to look that up later, find out precisely what those numbers are. But it's happening. I don't think Duke Energy has one yet, but they'll probably get around to it. Okay, so Ken, I heard today that Biden is lawlessly extending the repayment freeze on the student loan borrowers. Now, he's doing this just to try to buy votes. I think we all know that. But I thought somebody went to court. Some states sued, and the court said that Biden couldn't do it. So if the court said that, how come the old fellow is still able to do that? Well, the old fellow did lose in court when he tried to forgive student loans for, gosh, millions and millions of students. The court said he didn't have the authority to do that for all the millions and millions that he was including. So then he went back to the White House and he called up his lawyers, I guess, and said, well, what do you suppose I can do? So what the plan they came up with at the White House was, we will forgive the loans, or if not forgive the loans, we will at least freeze the repayments, not forgive the loans, but freeze repayments for the 8 million who borrowed money from the federal government. Because he said, we, after all, are the federal government. And even though the courts won't let us include everybody, we can include the 8 million who borrowed the money from us. So that's what they're doing. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hello, Ken. I'm late getting in tonight. I'm just now turning you on.
How's the signal tonight?
I was calling to see if Mr. Liberal called in yet. I'd like to hear him debate. And I heard last night another fellow challenged him last night, and I want to see how that was going to turn out tonight.
I've not heard from Mr. Liberal tonight, or the other fellow, not yet. Well, let me ask you.
Okay.
You were not able to see us last night. Do we look better tonight?
Oh, you perfect. You're perfect tonight. Yeah.
Okay,
you
good.
sound better, and it's not blinking off and on. I mean, you're not going in and out. It's perfect. That's why I want to see. I want to hurry up and get back home so I can hear Mr. Liberal and that other fellow debate.
I haven't heard. Have not heard from them. They might be taking the night off.
Okay then. All right, kid. Nothing happened. We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, wait a minute. How are you feeling these days?
Well, I'm feeling a whole lot better, Ken. Taking better care of myself right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you for asking right there. Yeah, I'm breathing a little bit better, but it had those flare-ups, with my with my COPD. It flares up and it scares me there, but it's doing better, man. I'm behaving myself.
All right. Well, keep behaving yourself.
There you go. But yeah, okay then, Ken. We'll be looking forward. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks for calling. We're glad you're doing better. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Ken, are you old enough to remember the airport was in Draper, down there
The
where Miller Brewing Company was?
the airport. I do. I have just a vague recollection of that airport being there. Yeah,
Well, anyway, it's covered now with solar panels. Have you noticed that?
I have
Hundreds
not.
of them
I
where that
have not.
airport was.
Have not
It's
noticed that.
hundreds of them.
I didn't
And,
know we had that in town.
well, I didn't either. I thought maybe you might know who put it up, Duke Power or who. But next time you go down by Farina now, check it out. I mean, it's just hundreds of them down there.
All right. Well, I have not
At the
been
old
by
airport.
there. Haven't been by there lately. I'll drive by there tomorrow and see that.
Yeah, you don't live far from it, what, 5 or 6 miles?
No, not too far. I live on Boone Road. It's pretty short drive over there.
Right. And another thing, the old car stand mill up on Henry Street,
Uh-huh.
it's full of solar panels.
Didn't know that either.
I'll give you some good information.
Well, yeah, you need to call more often because you can help me in my ignorance. I had no idea.
All right, maybe you can comment on it tomorrow night then.
I'll see what I can find out. Thanks.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right. We have a solar panel farm out there on Meadow Road, close to Purina. I had not seen it. But again, it's been a while since I drove that way. But I remember, I don't clearly remember the airport from that age. I was there things, I mean, there are things from even later ages that I don't clearly remember. But I do remember that the airport was there at one point. And I remember we used to drive up and down there for whatever reason. And my dad would always tell me that there used to be a baseball park out there too. I don't remember the baseball park, but he would always point out there and he'd say that's where the ballpark was in the old bi-state league. He'd say. I guess that goes a long way back. But I'll see if I can learn something about the solar panels and the solar farm because that's interesting to hear. Ken, here's a question. Ken, are you on Medicare? Yes. Yes, I am. So I didn't realize you were on Medicare, but I guess that's why you know the answers to Medicare questions when people have them. So I have a Medicare question for you now. Is Medicare Part C going away? Medicare Part C is what I have, and I hope I can keep it, but somebody told me that it might be going away. Have you heard that? I've heard that it is not going away. It is not going away from where we stand right now. There are going to be fewer choices because some companies are getting out of Part C, and that's a normal thing. From year to year, some get out and some others come in. But also, some insurance companies are consolidating their Part C plans. So there are going to be fewer individual Part C plans. But no, there is no official projection that Part C is going away. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Ken Briscoe from Hospital.
Hey, Briscoe.
I'm an old man, as you can probably guess.
Me too.
But one thing I do in my spare time, I read my meter in the afternoon, power meter in the afternoon,
Right.
every day,
Okay.
and subtract it, see how many kilowatt hours I've used. Okay?
Okay.
Last Thursday, the 17th, I used 80 kilowatt hours,
All right.
and it's been anywhere from 6 to 45 in the past.
So it was double.
Yes. And then On Friday, I used 45 kilowatt hours. Saturday, 29 kilowatt hours. And on Sunday, I used 0 kilowatt hours.
Well, good for you. You conserved electricity that day.
Well, I don't know what it's something to do with. It's not Duke Power. It's Energy United.
All right.
And the next day, I used 25, and since yesterday, I used 20 kilowatt hours.
Well,
But
Briscoe,
I just wanted.
there's got to be something wrong. I mean, we know there was not a day when you used 0 kilowatt hours. That didn't
No,
happen. So there's got to be something wrong with that meter.
well, they don't read it personally. It's computerized.
Yeah.
Nobody comes out and reads my meter. But it's strange that last Thursday I used 80 kilowatt hours, and Sunday I used 0.
I would call them, Briscoe. I would call the company, whatever phone number you have, and ask about that.
But between the 80 and the 0, it's 40. Average for 2 days, and I've got no complaint about it. But it's just weird.
All right. Well, it could be something about that meter that somehow some timing device or interval device that causes it to count 2 days and then not 2 days one day and then not count anything the second. I don't know why it would do that, but I guess that's possible. But I'd sure call the company and ask about it.
Okay, thank you so very much. I didn't mean to bother you with nothing.
Well, that's all right, Briscoe. I'm glad you called. Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Good night. And with that, we are out of time. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I hope you'll join us for our next show. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Eccles. Jesus.